Hey there, gentle people. Today we are going to be talking about how to set up your paper for watercolor painting. So if you notice, I have some blue painter's tape right here, and you can get this at any craft store or Home Depot. You know what? The one at Home Depot is probably best because let me tell you, their painter's tape sucks. It's not very adhesive, and that will help when you're putting the tape down on the paper. A tip I learned from a guy I met at this art store one time is you can do it on some jeans, or I have just a plain old rag here that I use when I'm painting. Pretty much gauge how much tape you'll need. Then once you're done with that, if you have on, you know, your jeans or whatever, you just put the tape down flat and peel it off, because that will take off some of the adhesive backing. Okay, absolutely making a mess here, but okay, don't worry. All right, so some of that adhesive backing is off, and now you can kind of line up on your paper where it needs to go. And what this does for your paintings as well is gives them a nice clean border. All right, so you pretty much do that for each edge. All right, gauge how much tape you need. Lay it flat down on a rag or your jeans. Peel off some of that adhesive, right? Get it off, good. Because what happens is sometimes you're lifting up the painter's tape and it will take some of your paper with it. But if you go ahead and do that with the painter's tape, then you won't have that issue at all. So we're just gonna take some more adhesive off and lay our four sides down. And then make sure to look for the line, the border of the paper, so that you have a nice clean edge. And this is not necessary. I do it because I like a flat surface when I'm painting, and also the paper kind of buckles when you're doing watercolor, so you definitely want to go ahead and get that tape down. No, I'm actually taping down dry paper here, but you can soak your paper for anywhere from 30 to 45 seconds or so, and once that paper is fully saturated, then you can go ahead and tape it down. And what that will prevent is the paper from buckling too much when you're working. And I'm going to show you what I did with one sheet here. And if you don't have any smaller size hardboard, I pretty much just used a clipboard, and I just used the back of the clipboard. And this paper, I had actually soaked it in water before I taped it down. So let's pull off one of the edges and see what it looks like. All right, let's do another one. Okay, some of the paint, okay, because I kind of gauged the tape wrong on this one, so some of the paint seeped through, but that's okay. And again, say some of the paper came off, but it's no biggie. If you take the adhesive off, you won't have too much of this problem. There we go. And the other side. All right, so I had a lot of bleeding on this one. I'm not too sure. Oh, I know why. It's because that tape, that was probably the third time that I used that tape, so pretty much some of the adhesiveness started to come off around the sides, but that's pretty much the kind of border that you'll get. And I'll flip this and show you what I was working on the other side. All right, so there's this crazy blue sky going on here, and I didn't wet this paper, so let's see what happens with this one. I was working on this one this morning. Guys, I took this stuff to the park to do the video, and then when I got to the park, I realized that I left the attachment to hook the camera up to the tripod, so that was a complete fail. So I just pretty much was messing around painting all these backgrounds. I haven't decided what I'm gonna do with them yet. This one was kind of like begging for some jellyfish, so I think I might put some jellyfish. I might paint some jellyfish. The background is watercolor, but I think I might do some jellyfish in gouache on top. And remember, gouache paint is pretty similar to watercolor, but it's permanent when you put it down, and it pretty much is water soluble, just like watercolor. So those are the edges, the clean edges that you'll get when you tape your work. And remember, you can always wet your paper before. I'm going to do a separate video to explain how to properly stretch water paper, but wetting it first before you tape it down will help to prevent a lot of the buckling. And if you don't have time, just put it down dry, and you know, you'll have a nice flat surface to work with. So again, thank you very much for joining me. As always, I appreciate your time, I appreciate your presence, and I will see you soon. Peace.